Alright, so here's the version 2 of this strip brace. I'm about to put it back in. The difference now is that Goodwin sent me these new nuts, and the new nuts, the thread, they start right at the base here, whereas the original nut from the factory, it doesn't. If you look at it, you actually see that it starts like, the thread starts at about 2 millimeters above the base here, whereas the new ones, they start right at the base. So that's gonna make a difference. Before I put that on, I have everything put in place, so I actually need to mount the rest of it first. The little stuff right here. So this is let's see, that's my button head. Right, the button head with remember it was a 10 millimeter nut. The button head's a 4 millimeter Allen internal, internal hex, female hex. What the hell did they make these bolts so damn long for? That's like totally against the gram. That's totally against Mazda's gram strategy for this car. Look at that bolt. I think these bolts are from the. These bolts are actually not from Mazda. These bolts are, I think, from the factory. Not factory. I mean these are not factory bolts. I believe these are the Goodwin bolts. So yeah, so the bolts and the nuts, it's actually Goodwin, not Mazda. That's why they're so long. The Mazda ones are not that long, so that's why I don't think they cleared this plate, because this plate's actually thicker than the Mazda plate. So those are 4 millimeters. 4 millimeters in there. Oh, that's the pain in the ass. The other side's kind of underneath the I should have a deep socket for this one, but I don't. That's good there. Don't want to get it too tight, because that Allen key can't, this Allen key can't hold that much torque. The 10 millimeter on top can, but the 4 millimeter Allen can't. So gotta be mindful of that. Yeah, I should have got some deep sockets here. Would have helped a lot more with deep sockets. Okay, good there. So that's too good. Let's push this in there. The rest of it's pretty easy. The rest of it's just clips. Okay, that's good there. Yeah, it's just wire clips. Actually, I could put the wire clips in, but yeah, okay, let me do this. So this goes here, and this clip here, and the other clip down right here. Actually, I could plug this one in. This one in right here. This little clip right there. hooked up over here on this side. I'll plug this in. Yeah, I'll plug it in right now. Actually, no, I won't. I'll leave it out. I'll leave it out so that way you guys can see the nuts here. Before I do that, let's move it over to this side. Gotta do the same thing on this side. Those little mounts first. This one's different. This one is this thing right here. The bracket for this. So you probably can't see it. Where the hell's the nuts? Oh, here they are. So these nuts are also Goodwin nuts as well. These are not, you know, these are not the Mazda nuts and bolts. Because again, this plate here is so thick that the Mazda nuts and bolts, they don't have, you know, they don't have the reach that this plate has. That you know, they can't reach in there because the plate's too thick. I'm not gonna line it down yet. I need to get the bolt on the other side. This thing to line up first. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I did a little bit too much there. Let's loosen this up a little bit. Okay, loosen it up a little bit. Let me get the nuts and bolts on this other side in first. Over here. I'm having a hard time moving over. Oh, maybe I need to do the other side first then. Jeez. This other side first. I remember this thing on the version 1, I don't remember this thing being so damn tight. Ow. I have to line up the brackets. The thing is, I also have an oil catch can here, so that makes it even harder to do this. So that oil catch can, and the angle on the thing is slightly off. Oh, you know what? That's why. Because this thing is, because this plate, the angle is the angle of this. Remember the first time I tried it, this plate angle here, it's not parallel with the top of the tower. It's actually like this. So this side is actually higher. So that's why I'm having a hard time with that, because it won't want to come on. I guess I should just bolt it down and start bolting it down so that way I could bring this end down. Yeah, let me do that. Well, it's too difficult to just push down by my hands. Alright, so let's see if this thing fits right here. Because of that, oh yeah, went right on. Unlike the original factory one, it didn't go on. So now I'm pushing down on this side, on this corner, so I can get more threads in there, because you want to get all the threads that you can. Otherwise, you can damage the threads. You can't get them all. You only have like half a thread on there. All of a sudden it springs back up. I could strip that thread. So I'm gonna get pushing down while I'm spinning that nut there. Do the same thing on this side. Oops. Same thing on this side. So outside nut and bolts, okay, nuts are okay. It's that this inside back one where it's hard to, where it can barely catch on. So that one caught on pretty well. So push, do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna push down on it. Push down on it. It lets me turn the nut a little bit more. So yeah, lets me turn the nut a little bit more, so I get more thread bite, so it clears. Okay, so let's try back to this other side again. Go back and forth a few times. This time let me try this with the wrench to have a little bit more grip there. Okay, that's not coming in. Okay, where's my wrench? Here we go. So I can start tightening it down, I guess. So you do it lightly, so that way it slowly brings the plate down. Notice I'm only holding it right here like that, so that I don't put too much torque into it. I don't want to do that. Keep it a little light right now. Back to the other side. Same thing with this side. Shit. I don't like this. I don't like how the bars put under tension like this, because it's because this is aluminum. Aluminum has a fatigue life, so when you put this bar under tension like this, it constantly puts this load, this stress on the aluminum, and it shortens it. It shortens its life, and it could crack sooner rather than later. So that's why I don't like that. I'd rather it just sit nice and flat, and you have no need to put any kind of tension into it. So that way there's no load on it. And the only load it should have is when it's being actually driven and used. Okay, I need to start tightening it up now. Pretty tight right there. I think this side bottomed out. This side hasn't quite. Okay, it's about bottomed out right there. I don't think this one is bottomed out. Nope. That one's definitely not bottomed out. Okay, right there. I can feel it. Just about bottomed out right there. Okay, so that's good. I like the fact that this thing has a lot more threads too. So it could, more threads means more bite, more distribution of load on the nuts and bolts. So you don't have to worry about. So that's bottomed out right there. It's bottomed out. That one is not. And as I do this, I actually see, so there's a gap right here. I can actually see that gap closing. Okay, I think that one's bottomed out. So I'm not sure what the torque is. I think this thing is like 14 pounds. The torque. So it's not that much. It's not a whole lot. Okay, And that's good on that side. I'm just going by feel. I'm not using a torque wrench. Most of the time I don't. Only if it's like really critical where I use a torque wrench. Otherwise I just go by feel. And you notice this side, I have this side braced because the way when you torque this thing, because it's so far away from the nut, if you just hold right here and turn this, what happens? This side will actually do this, and the socket won't sit flat anymore. It does that and it does this, and also when you torque it, it will actually strip the nut. So I have my hand here so that way it stays where it's supposed to be. Okay, it's good there. It's good. Yeah, that's it. Alright, let's go back to these nuts here. Last thing I need to do. Okay, well that's much better. Now this plate's lower down. I can actually get this underneath here. I can actually reach. Okay, that's good there. Up here on this side. Get some threads on there. What's my socket there? That's good there. Got a couple of threads in. On this side here. On this side. Some threads in, so that's good. Back to this other side here. Underneath is a 10mm, the top's also a 10mm as well. Oops. My catch can is actually touching my my master cylinder, so I need to slide the catch can back a little bit. I actually have a few millimeters where I can do that. Slide this back a little bit. There we go. Now it's not touching. Yeah, it's tight. At least it feels tight to me. Okay, back to this side here. Okay, that side's tight. Alright, so one more thing to do is the nuts up at the firewall. Up over there. Where's my wrenches for that? So you got the washer. This nut, here it is. So these ones are 13mm. The other one was the nuts that Goodwin gave me was a 14mm. So let's see, this was a 15mm. The nuts that Goodwin gave me are 15mm, but the factory nuts are 14mm. Here's the washer, 13mm. The deep socket for that. So hopefully this one's a little bit stiffer, but also it gives you a lot more clearance where the brakes are, the brake reservoir is, right? That's the thing that the previous version, the version 1, people had rubbing on the brake reservoir. This one, there's no way it's gonna rub on the brake reservoir. There's so much clearance there. Oh, but I see another rubbing spot now. It's gonna potentially rub on the cable. That's not good. Yeah, it is right here. Let's see if you guys can see this. So the version 1, a lot of people were having rubbing right here. So if you slide it forward, it'll clear. On this version 2, you know, I got 2 fingers in here. Kind of clearance there, but the problem here is right here. The brake, not the brake, the cable here potentially could rub. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this spot right here. If it rubs, then that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. I'd rather have it slightly rubbing right here than over here. This one's easy to take care of, or actually, you know, it's not so bad. This one over here, on the other hand, that's potentially could be hazardous if that rubs the cable raw. It causes a short. Let me see if I could adjust this by loosening this up a little bit and maybe sliding that out a little bit. Loosen this side up. Alright, so let's see if I can slide this thing around. Looks like it doesn't. Nope, can't. This side could kind of move a little bit. This side doesn't. I'm trying to move it forward and out that, or in. Forward and in, to give it more clearance. Yeah, it's already out. Oh, I mean in. It's already moved in as much as it can. So I'm just have to push it basically that way, away from the. Just kind of spin that. It's nothing holding the bottom. Dang it. Something with this side, nothing's holding the bottom. So this is why I need a third hand. Third hand would be nice right here. Yeah, another hand would definitely be nice right here. Okay, that's good. Good. Get back to these ones here. These that's good there. The last thing is on this other side here. That's it. Yeah, so my biggest concern here is that, again, that cable right here rubbing. Man, that's not a good thing right there. We have to keep an eye on this. So obviously there's a electrical tape in here, but this thing also has a, let's see, no it doesn't. I was gonna say it has a plastic accordion shaped plastic loom. But right here it doesn't have that. It's just what you call it? Electrical tape only. So I definitely have to be careful of that. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. If this spot right here rubs away the electrical tape, you know, I'm gonna have to take this off and use the original one because this is more important than over here. This one rubs a little bit, it's okay because there's a lot of material here. But you know, this I wasn't having rubbing issue. I was actually clear about 5 millimeters here, so I was actually fine with the original one. But this one right here, though, this rubbing right here, I'm not okay with. That's a possibility right there. Otherwise, these seem to fit all right. Everything looks good. And I couldn't move this thing either. You know, I moved it. There's not much movement of this brace. Not much you could do with it. Maybe once it settles down, maybe I could loosen it back up and push it back in, and push it back that direction. Possible. but I don't think there is though. I don't think I have enough space for that. But for now, I'm gonna leave it as is. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on this spot right here. All right, thanks for watching.